So see, it's not easy in West Virginia to be an African American, particularly African American male, that's viewed as being controversial. You don't have to be controversial. It's just for people to say that you're controversial, right? Because once you get branded, then you can never rebrand yourself, no matter how hard you try. I've written over 60 op-ed pieces. No one has ever challenged me on the content of the data, the statistics of what I'm saying. They challenge me on why is he saying that? Well, because it's the United States of America. That's why I'm saying it. And the First Amendment right to free speech is really important to me because my people didn't always have it. See, there's certain things that I value in a way that maybe a lot of people don't value. To be able to speak my opinion and to share my opinion. And the things I've written about, they're not things that's controversial. I'll give you a good example. There's an article in this morning's newspaper, yesterday's newspaper, where they're talking about the West Virginia is ranked 6th in the nation with the poorest outcome for at-risk youth. You know how long I've been talking about that? A decade. I've written over how many articles about the juvenile justice system, the child foster system, the crisis with truancy, kids dropping out of school, the fact that we have this quiet flow of kids aging out of the child foster care system, kids aging out of the juvenile justice system, kids dropping out of school, and they're the two streams of young people that literally graduate right into the adult criminal justice system. I've been talking about that for years and writing about it, right? And the fact that we have 7,000 kids that appear before a judge or probation officer in this state every year, 4,000 that drop out of school, okay? 10,000 kids that are considered homeless by the school system, 56,000 young people between 16 and 24 that's not in school and not working. I've been talking about this for a long time, but all I've been talking about, I've written specific initiatives of things that could be done, right? To try to mitigate it and to try to address some of those things. So I'm considered to be controversial because I say, no, we can do better than this. We just don't have the will to do better. And we talk about something and think we've done it because we talked about it. But we aren't taking concrete steps to do something about it. So one of the Republican political candidates, basically, had brought this up to challenge the sitting governor to say, well, he hasn't did nothing, on his watch to address this problem. Well, I think that's a legitimate observation, but the problem has existed for a long time. And no one has done a whole lot to address the problem. So that's I think that's one of the challenges, but I think I'm misunderstood only because people don't understand the role that I feel like that I have. I'm a New Testament prophet. I'm a preacher. I'm a pastor. Right? I got one basic job description, and that's to tell the truth. That's it. To tell the truth, not be so much concerned about whether people like it or don't like it, not to be mean-spirited and argumentative, but to really try to articulate a narrative, that is accurate and that is as truthful as I can humanly come to. That is from the pulpit on Sunday morning. But it's also from the standpoint of looking at what's happening in the community. You see what I'm saying? So go back to WVU and go into the WVU catalog of majors and key in the word poverty and see how many degrees the WVU issues for people studying how to address poverty. You know how many it's going to be? 0. Now here with a flagship university, and Marshall's no different, not a single college university in this state has a curriculum of study. We're one of the poorest states in the United States of America. Somebody will be studying about poverty. Somebody will be studying how to ameliorate it, how to mitigate it, how to try to reduce the impact on it. But because it's not a priority. Addressing poverty is not really a priority in the state of West Virginia. And that's why we're not making any progress on addressing it. So I've raised issues like that. Why is it that we're not talking about how to address poverty? not just the redistribution of money. I'm not talking about that, but talking about structurally, why is it that certain communities and neighborhoods are plagued with systematic, perpetual poverty, and nothing ever changes except things get worse? So I get criticized for saying something like this: are we really a poor community on the west side of Charleston? Are we really? What we have is, if we were a separate municipality, we'd be the 9th or 10th largest county, a city, right? We, on this west side, we got the number of people they got in Fairmont or Beckley, about 16 or 17,000. We got $350 million in income that comes into this community, okay? That's pretty significant. But our money don't stay here overnight, because we'll become what I call an economic transfer center. The money comes in, it transfers out to the downtown economy. It doesn't spend a night over here. Most of the business owners that operate business over here, they don't live here. They have no vested interest in what happens in this neighborhood, in this community. So how do we ever change our trajectory when our wealth leaves every day? Over $1 million leave every day, right? So I started raising those type of questions. If we're not going to help us build an economy over here, build some small businesses that people live here, have a vested interest in living here, employ people from here to keep some of our money in the neighborhood, then we'll always be where we are. And so then decisions are made that doesn't help this community economically. When I moved here years ago, there were 3 movie theaters on the west side of Charleston. Well, who made the decision that there would be 0? We don't have a skating rink. We don't have a bowling alley. We don't have a restaurant over here that you could buy a decent restaurant. There may be some on Elk City, I'm not sure. I don't go down there much, but. So anyway, those are the type things that I've tried to raise to try to bring attention that we need to build an economy over here to help build the community and build an economic base so we can attract a more diverse clientele, because the middle class is moving out. Anyway, as I come toward the end of my ministry, I'm just trying to lay things down in writing. And in doing things like this, getting some ideas out for people to kind of think about, that some things have to change in West Virginia, and people got to start thinking differently about where poor people live. And they got to realize that there has to be some fundamental changes made in communities where poor people live. Otherwise, things are going to continue to get worse. And younger people are going to continue to leave. They got skills and talent. And we got a serious brain drain problem now.